Yo, what's going on, world? Welcome to the Life Now Show. Appreciate you tuning in right here on In Touch News Radio, where everybody is a star and the biggest star is you. It's been a little while since we've been in the studio with you, but we're definitely glad to be in here with you today. I'm your host, Life Malcolm, and this is the Life Malcolm Show. Definitely have to give big shout outs to my main man behind the technological magnificence you see right here. We got the lights and I don't know how many microphones and cameras we got going on for you, but my man behind the mystery man behind the board is always on point. Definitely want to appreciate him. Also, got to give a shout out to my main man, DJ CEO, and Mrs. DJ CEO, aka Tampa Bay Tammy, for of course providing this In Touch News platform for us and making it possible for the Life Malcolm Show to be in your face when we are in the place. And of course, gotta say thank you to all the people who tune in on a regular basis. Check the show out later and holler at me with thoughts, suggestions, concerns, and what have you. So, walked in on a treat. Imagine a treat for you and for me. We have a guest on the Life Malcolm Show. I just met her, so it's I don't know a whole lot. I heard she was on an interview just a moment ago on Tampa Bay Tammy's show, and I got it, and maybe we could learn some more about this special guest on the Life Malcolm Show. And so she agreed to stick around, and I'm delighted to have sitting next to me Miss April Cox. She is an author. And that's about all I know right now. She knows she's in the studio, but she's going to tell us a lot about what she has going on here. There's several things on this promotional piece. She's a dope girl hustler. Is that what are these? Are these your titles?
Yes.
Okay, these are your titles. All right.
Mm-hmm.
A best-selling author, writing coach, screenplay writer and director, story developer, health and wellness distributor, a leader, and an encourager. All right. That's a whole lot going on. Why don't you welcome to the Life Malcolm Show and tell me and the audience a little bit about all this you have going on, Miss Cox.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
I am author April Cox, and I'm here right in the Tampa Bay area. I was born and raised here, and you may have saw me a lot on the corner of Osborne and 30th, or when I first started writing books, I used to be out selling them at the Silver Dollar on 40th Street. Or you may just see me all around Tampa. Events, I always do events. I'm a vendor at a lot of different events that I sell my books. I'm also a member of Heaven Destiny. That is my church home, Pastor Tom Jones and Willie Mae Jones. So I am an author. I started writing in 2014. I didn't believe in myself because I have had difficulties in spelling. Difficulties. So with spelling, I didn't even really want to read a lot. So I didn't do a lot of reading. I didn't do a lot of writing because of those difficulties. But I was in an abusive relationship. And once I came out of, once I was going through that relationship, I picked up a book by Wahida Clark, and I just started reading. And one book turned into 1,000 books, and I end up hooking up with different authors on Facebook after I would read their book, and I would be like, "Hey, you should do this. You should write this." And this one author, we became friends, best of friends, which is my business partner. Shout out to author Alita Williams. Um, I had a storyline one day that God had given me, and I shared the storyline with her, and she was like, "Okay." She was listening, and then she said, when I was done, she said, "Okay, write it." And I was like, "No, I'm giving it to you, because if you don't want it, then I'll, give it to another author that can use the storyline." And she basically just cursed me out and told me, you telling God that you don't want to work for nobody, and here you are, here he is giving you a storyline and that you can write yourself. You really good, and you won't write it. And so she hung up on me. And then, that was the beginning of me actually sitting down, having this talk with God. And he said, you can do it. I provided you with everything you need when you wanted to go back to school and get your diploma. What I left school in the ninth grade. So what most people would take them a long time to get, when I finally went back to school, I was ready within like 3 to 5 months. And actually, they told me I was ready, but I still said, nah, I'll stay a little bit longer because I didn't think that I was ready still. But, so God he just encouraged me that way and told me, you can do it. So I picked up my phone because I didn't know how to type on the computer. I didn't like typing. I am computer suave, but I'm not fast, so I don't like typing on the computer. So I picked up my phone. I didn't know anything about Word documents, none of that. And I started writing in my emails, and then I would save the draft. I would keep drafting every chapter. I would write a chapter and save it to draft, and that's how I started writing.
Okay. Which was your first book?
My first book was Double Dose.
Double Dose.
My friend who cursed me out told me to write. She is the one that wrote that book with me. She told me she would help me, and that's when I wrote my first book.
Okay. How many books you have out?
I have about 10.
10. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's more than
one is actually this is I have also accountability calendar.
Okay.
That I have out. I also have.
What is that?
Basically, I want to be your accountability partner, and I'm not able to be your accountability partner right next to you, call you all the time. So basically, inside of the calendar, we got the whole 12 months, and it just encourages you to do affirmations, encourage you to do different tasks throughout the year, and encourage you to walk, and encourage you to save money throughout the whole year.
Okay. That's called My Accountability Calendar.
Mm-hmm.
That's for this year.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Good. Where can you find these books and calendars?
They all are on my website. Okay. They also are on Amazon. But
what's your website?
My website is www.dopegirlhustle.com.
Okay, and it looks like you have a book with you. Is this the latest book?
Yes, this is my latest book. This is my first inspirational book that I wrote, and it's basically based off my life from ages 8 to 18. And I was writing it hoping to encourage someone else, but actually it began to encourage me. It began to let me know more about myself and why I did a lot of things growing up that I did, and why a lot of the choices that I made, why I made a lot of choices that I made. So it's helping me, and it's just a little pocketbook, and it's actually volume 1. It's going to be 2 more volumes to this book.
Okay, all right. What was the motivation for that book?
Well, basically my life is just changing. I started a self-care journey, just loving on myself, and once I start, spending more time with God, just praying and listening, I decided to write to encourage instead of just writing a whole bunch of drama that I normally write. So, but this is to encourage. So I always, I want to make a lot of money, of course. But now where I'm at, I know that I'm going to make the money, but it's about helping someone else. So I want to help other women, other people. I want to encourage them and, just share my story. Hopefully that it will encourage them. But like I said, writing it, it's actually been encouraging me.
Do you so you do book events, book
yes.
shows, readings?
Yes, I travel a lot. I also I do a lot of book events, but when people have depending on what they're going on, like we just had a hidden gems. I mean, where they encourage women and put the spotlight on different women that was doing something in the community. I actually was there to promote my book. I was actually this is the first time I actually promoted in Tampa. Gracefully broken yet gracefully healing, but I was just in California as well, promoting it at Prophet Lovey Ellis Church, Revelation Church.
Okay.
So,
Um, so these books are they? Uh, I hear you talk a lot about God, and you just mentioned church, and I think you might have mentioned church a bit ago. Yeah, Pastor Willie Mae and the other pastor,
Tom Jones.
Tom Jones, right? So, do these books have a lot of church influence throughout them? Or?
So my books, they are urban fiction books. You know, they're very hood. But in each book, there's a testimony. So you're able to either you can, if you want a testimony, it's a testimony in the front and a testimony in the back. And I believe that um, God has gifted me and led me how to write my books, because I believe it reaches the people who may not pick up their Bible, who may not know God. You know, every now and then there's a scripture I throw in there, or there's a person that's in there that's encouraging these people that's in these dysfunctional relationships or something like that. But I get I got a lot of reviews, and a lot of people would tell me, April, normally when I read a book, I just read a book. But they say, I read your books from the very beginning, from the dedications to the testimonies to the very end of the book. They say, I read everything. And so I knew then, okay, God, this is why you're saying put a testimony in there. They may read these type of books, but they're reading the testimonies, and I love the Lord, so I always talk about him.
Okay. So now we got to go to break. All right. So look, we're gonna take a break, but I want to come back and talk a little bit more about the books. You have a little more time?
I have time.
All right.
Yes.
Cool. So we'll stick around and come back and talk to you. Well, you'll stick around and we'll come back and talk to you. I'm gonna be here anyway, but I'm glad you're gonna stick around. And look, hope you stick around too. We're gonna be right back on the Life Malcolm Show.
Tell a friend to listen in. It's In Touch Radio, reality radio.
Hey, Tampa Bay, let's turn up. Are you ready to party with a purpose? Join us for the all-white affair. Hey there, this is Anjali, Queen Bee from 95.7 The Beat.
And TV host Marlo. Join us at American Social on Sunday, April 23rd at 5 p.m. Tickets available now on Eventbrite by searching White Party by the Water.
They're going fast, so don't wait. Proceeds benefit the best program. Tell your friends, get your sexiest white outfit on, and we'll see you there.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call Herman White at 961-6661. That's 961-6661. By now, we're all aware of the dangers of COVID-19. Like others with existing health issues, cancer patients are at a high risk due to their compromised condition. If you are newly diagnosed with cancer, your care likely can't wait. Moffitt Cancer Center is the best place for your cancer concerns and to provide guidance to help you plan your next steps. We're here for you. Call 1-888-456-2839 or go to moffitt.org/here-for-you.
All right. Welcome back to the Life Malcolm Show right here on In Touch News Radio. I'm your host, Life Malcolm, and I'm sitting here with author April Cox, and we're talking about some of her books, some of her writing, and some of the influences she may convey in the book. So we're talking about how some of your books have, how you love the Lord, and some things in your book reflects that sentiment. And so, I guess before break, I wanted to know if you would say that the books are like PG-13, like can an elder at the church read it without blushing? Like, the language, the how graphic is the drama? I know you say it's real hood. I'm not sure what that means. Maybe you can say something about that. But just want to know if it's somebody can go give to one of the mothers at the church, be like, hey, read
You
this.
sure can give it to the mother at the church.
Okay.
If they don't like cussing, they used to cuss when they was younger.
Okay, so
they know about curse
so
words.
It's about PG-13.
But I wouldn't say give it to. I would say at least 16 years old and up.
Okay. Like PG-13 then?
Yeah. I would say I don't know, cause see, I don't really deal with church folks, because one thing about it is everybody has a past.
Yeah.
And I tell people either they watch Tyler Perry movies, don't they?
I mean,
a
some
lot of
people
them.
do, yeah.
A lot of them. They watch Tyler Perry movies. Yeah. There's no different. And I tell people that either you're gonna see yourself in this book, and you want to get out of it, or you're gonna see yourself that you've been through that before and you want to make sure you don't get back in it, or if you see that your relationship going this way, you'll want to back out of it. So somebody can relate to a little bit of something in each one of my books.
Okay, that's what's up. Yeah, I mean, I didn't mean to put you on
No,
defense there, but
absolutely.
I just wanted to know, because just like, some people
I'm
do watch
just
Tyler
saying,
Perry movies, some
I
people
got
don't.
you. I
And
got
just
you.
like, some people don't write Tyler Perry type movies, some people don't.
Yeah.
And so, I just wanted to know what
I sell
genre
my
category the book fell into.
Right,
So
I sell it to
wanted
them all. I sell it to
explicitly.
them all. If
Gotcha.
they want to buy it, I let them read the back of it. If they want to buy it, they can. If they're looking for a testimony, I tell them it's a testimony in there. But yes, there are words in there. There are everything that they have actually ever been through in those books.
Right on. All right, so what's your bestseller?
Stuck on Stupid series, it made #1 bestseller in 3 categories, and the whole series made it on #1 bestseller.
Where?
On Amazon.
Okay.
And I think it was Double Dose 2 made it on #1 bestseller. This one made #7 on #1 bestseller.
Which one is that?
Oh, Gracefully
Okay.
Broken, yet Graceful Healing made #7. So the whole Stuck on Stupid series, Double Dose 2 made it on there for just a little while, and I think no, 3 didn't.
So which one is your favorite?
That's it. Oh boy, it's hard. It's hard to pick, but I don't know. I fell in love with all of them, to be
Okay.
honest.
And you said a lot of them sold best, but I guess I still
Yeah.
don't know which one was the bestseller, because I guess I'm trying to.
This whole series here.
But which one book? Is there one book that sold more than any of the other books? Just like.
Oh, okay, yeah. Stuck on Stupid #1. This whole series sold more than all the books.
Okay, but Stuck on Stupid is the one that sold the most out of all your other books. Oh, yeah, right, cool.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that one then. What?
Okay.
Why do you think people seem to like that one so much? Why is it sold so much?
Well, in the beginning, honestly, when I wrote Stuck on Stupid, I actually wrote Double Dose first, and I feel like a lot of people, because I wrote it with another author, they felt like that that
Because you wrote
author
which
was
one?
actually, which I wrote Double Dose 1
Okay.
with author Alita Williams.
Right.
And so there was a lot of people doubting me and doubting my writing and feeling like that she wrote this book. So when I wrote when I wrote Stuck on Stupid Part 1, I think I promoted it a lot, but I had a lot of people attention because they thought they wanted to see my writing style, or probably thought that I couldn't do it or whatever. So when I wrote that one, the title itself, that stuck out. And then, the cover, I actually used people right here in Tampa. I took the photos myself, and I used people in Tampa on the cover, and I don't know, it took off. I think I did give them little inserts of it as I was promoting, like what was going on in there. It's full of drama, a lot of relationship issues. So
What's the theme?
basically it's just stuck on stupid. So there's just women in there that is in these relationships. You know how when you know that you're in this relationship and this relationship is not for you, but you stay in it when you know you should be getting out of it. It's hurting you more than it is helping you, but you stay in it, and so you just stay stuck on stupid, and they end up just going through a lot of drama, a lot of fights, a lot of arguments.
I might want to talk about that a little. Just that whole since these books are about relationships, but I'm just assuming, is that the case for like all the books except for the ones that are like on the inspirational and the calendar list? They all like relationship type stuff, because I know you said drama, so it's not like murder mysteries, none. It's like relationship type stuff.
It's a little mystery in there, like a thuggish love. Her father got murdered, but she didn't know, who did it. Okay. She thought it was a friend.
But it's relationship stuff in that material.
Right? All of them got relationship stuff.
Okay, because I want to talk to you about some relationship stuff. We kind of started this a conversation last time I was in the studio live with Tampa Bay Tammy. Mm-hmm. You ever heard of a guy named Kevin Samuels?
Kevin Samuels. Sound familiar.
All right. Well, it's hard to talk about him if you don't know, but I just want to talk to you about the relationships and some of the stuff you say you put in the book.
Okay.
Yeah. But back to the book. All right. So the newest book is what's the latest in the fiction, the urban fiction category? What's the
last one I did? Is part 3 to Double Dose series. It's the last one that I did.
Okay. And which was your first breakaway, your first book breaking away from the fiction?
Would be Gracefully Broken, Yet Gracefully Healing. This is my first inspirational book.
Okay, so
this
Steps,
is my latest.
So 7 Steps came out when?
Yes, 7 Steps came out before the calendar, before this one, Gracefully Broken. Then it was the
I
7
guess
Steps.
That's what I'm asking. Like, when was your first breakaway from, So this 7 Steps was your first breakaway from the fiction style?
7 Steps came before Double Dose 3.
But it was
so I was still, I broke away, but I still was writing the urban fiction.
Got you. But I'm just saying, I'm just trying to get from you, when was your first time writing something other than that and publishing it, for people to read?
Okay.
Yeah, and so was that 7
steps?
Steps?
Yes, but the 7 Steps was just the 7 steps to start and finish her book. And we was actually we used to publish. We had our own publishing company, and we were publishing other authors, but we decided to stop publishing, and one way to help them is start a 7 steps to start and finish their book. Okay. So that's when we broke out and did the 7 steps, author Alita Williams and myself.
Okay, yeah, because I was going to ask, like, what made you decide to move away from that genre, but now you just explain that. All right, cool. Okay, so what's on your schedule now?
So right now I'm actually writing a script for a movie script to turn A Thuggish Love into a movie. Okay. And I'm actually right now auditioning for a play as well. And I'm also
in Tampa?
Yeah. Okay. In Tampa, also in California.
Okay.
And also, me and my business partner, we're gonna do plays here, and then we also doing plays in California. So we're gonna be like kind of going back and forth.
Doing them as in producing them or performing in them?
No, well, she may perform in some, but I just want to produce.
Okay, all right.
And direct. I don't want to be in them.
The plays will be about what?
Basically, the play that we're doing now, my very first play I did, it was off of I Turned Stuck and Stupid into a play. Okay. But this one, we are not giving out the title just yet, and basically this play will give parents a voice. Okay. And also will give kids a voice. Okay. So a lot of things that we do as an adult, we do them for our family, and we always think that we make the right choices, but we don't always make the right choices. And sometimes the choices we make, the kid will have an effect from it. And sometimes the kids will end up trying to do the same thing that we do, or the kids end up mad at the parents and they don't get along. And we just trying to let the parents hear the kids, and kids hear the parents too.
You have children?
Yes, one.
One.
Only one. He's
Okay.
23 now.
Okay, all right.
Mm-hmm.
And you never did say how old you were. You keeping that a secret? You mentioned when you were 19, something happened. You went back to school.
No.
So,
Next month I would be 42 years old.
42. That's
Yes.
what's up.
Yes.
And so you started. How old were you when you released your first book? You said 2014.
I was. It was in 2014 that I released my first book.
All right, so you were like
Oh, you are
23 or
right.
something like that, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, coming up on 23. It's 23. So, yeah. So, how much different is your writing now than it was when you were 23?
You know what?
If at all.
No, I think it's slightly different. I think right now, I think I do more of, my focus is different more than my writing being different. My focus is different as in I'm not now more focused on how can I help this person with what I'm saying instead of just writing a whole bunch of drama. My focus is now really on fulfilling some of these assignments that God has given me. How can I help the next person? How can I build somebody else up?
Are your characters? Let me ask you this: Have you changed in that period?
Yes,
Okay.
I've changed a whole lot.
Have your characters changed at all? Like,
Well, I
not so
have-
much the writing and the way you write and the purpose of writing, but like the characters themselves. Like maybe when you were 20, 23, maybe the characters were on the basketball court or in the club, maybe in school or
What I
college,
think,
but they got older
I
and
have
now-
not wrote again like urban fiction since I have actually changed within the last couple years. I have not really wrote another urban fiction book. I am more leaning towards inspirational books.
Okay.
But if I had to write, if I had to write about a character, they could still do some of the same things. Like it would be more to inspirational. Like, so if I wrote a character that was a basketball player, I could still write a character that's a basketball player, but he'll be more, his drama will more so inspire somebody on what he's going through. I'm gonna try to help somebody within that. Whatever the issue is that he's going through, I will try to minister to someone, to help someone in some type of way.
Yeah, no, I dig it. Before you cut me off, though, I was just
Oh,
trying
I'm
to.
sorry.
Yeah. So I was just trying to, make you see what I'm saying. Like,
Okay.
like as we get older, maybe the characters are doing it. As we are, the characters probably doing a lot of the stuff that we are, that we know. But as we get older and see more things that could expose our characters to different types of experiences in the book. So I just wanted to know, like, if maybe your characters in your early work were, maybe doing 20-something type stuff, inspirational or not. And then now that, you're 30-something, your characters are, driving different cars, instead of the sports car, they got a family car now, that kind of idea, instead of renting apartments, are they in houses? Have your characters grown
any
up?
growth?
As you've grown up.
In some cases, because I write for young adults and I write for older adults. So in some cases, I may write them as things that I experience now. In some cases, I may write them as what young adults are experiencing right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, because I watched this thing. I woke up on this thing last night, the 50th anniversary of The Young and the Restless, right? And I watched The Young and the Restless a lot with my grandmother when I was a boy.
Okay.
And so I remember some of the characters who have remained on the show over these 50 years, and so. I would see what they were doing back in the 70s, 80s, and now the stuff that they do now. Of course, I don't get a chance to watch it these days, but like they have cell phones now. When they used to have to pick up the phone, and so the characters change in the ways that society and people do, and like Tupac and Snoop, they. Especially Snoop, like we've had him for a long time. We could see, he doesn't rap anything like, write anything like the G thing stuff and the chronic
Right.
stuff is, so just, that kind of fascinated me yesterday watching how these characters have remained relevant to us, but still,
Right.
changed in the same time. All right. So after this, we're gonna come back and we're gonna just talk about relationships. We're gonna let you say whatever you want to say about the books, because the music started playing before I realized it was time to go to break. So we're gonna tighten up on the books, and then we're gonna just pick your brain about these relationships and stuff. All right,
okay.
here we go, y'all. This is the Life Malcolm Show right here with author April Cox and all her books and what have you. We'll be right back.
Today's R&B. With a smooth touch of jazz. You're listening to In Touch Radio.
Hey, Tampa Bay, let's turn up. Are you ready to party with a purpose? Join us for the all-white affair. Hey there, this is Anjali, Queen Bee from 95.7 The Beat.
And TV host Marlo. Join us at American Social on Sunday, April 23rd at 5 p.m. Tickets available now on Eventbrite by searching White Party by the Water.
They're going fast, so don't wait. Proceeds benefit the best program. Tell your friends, get your sexiest white outfit on, and we'll see you there.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call Herman White at 961-6661. That's 961-6661.
Yo. All right. So, if you're just joining us, welcome to the Life Malcolm Show, right here on In Touch News Radio. I'm your host, Life Malcolm, and I've been here for the entire show with author April Cox, talking about her life's experiences, trials, triumphs, what have you, the way she stepped into writing a few years ago, almost a decade ago, how she overcame perhaps some hurdles in her mind, or maybe even in her real life, to make it happen against all doubts. Now April's moved on from I shouldn't say moved on from, but in addition to writing fiction, has now began to author inspirational works and a calendar that helps her keep you accountable throughout the year with different tasks, goals, affirmations, etc. So we've been talking about a whole lot on the Life Malcolm Show. And before we move away from the discussion of all of these books you've authored and where people can find you, what have you, I want you to tell me whatever you want me to know about the books, whatever you want the audience to know about the books. And I'm going to just tell you, I don't know if I would read any of these books right away. I'm going to just tell you why, because it looks like it's for women's. I'm just going, it looks like the covers are very, I can see why women would I can see them grabbing them off the shelf, but yes, I don't know if I would, tell me, am I wrong? Am I going to look in here and just going to be all the women talking, how y'all do sometimes?
No,
talk
you're
about
very wrong.
Okay.
So, in my books, you do, I used to work at Verizon before I started writing books. And I started while I was there. So when my first book came out, a lot of the women and men in Verizon was sitting at their desk reading my books, and then the men will jump up and be like, "Hey, such and such just got popped," So it's those type of books that men and women can read and relate to.
All right.
But you can find all of my books on my website, which is www.dopegirlhustle.com. That's www.dopegirlhustle.com. Or you can purchase it on ebook on Amazon, on Kindle.
All right. Then they do tell them to, like, you on the Twitter? Can they tweet
Yes.
you and Instagram you?
Yep. Nelly Nell's wife on Twitter, which I will be changing soon because I used to be in love with Nelly. So that's why it's Nelly Nell's wife on Twitter. But you can also catch me on Instagram, inspiring you. And on Instagram, I am IZ for is bangs underscore IZ underscore bangs BANGS underscore in things. Eyes, bangs, and things on Instagram. Or you can just type in author April Cox on Instagram. Or you can type in author April Cox on Facebook. And you can catch me there. And also author April, the Dope Girl Sauce or Dope Sauce or Dope Girl Hustle on TikTok.
Okay. All right. What's the sauce? You sell sauce?
I'm the sauce.
You the sauce.
All my books is the sauce.
Okay, I got it. All right. I didn't know if you was into hot sauces.
Yes. So I am author April. You spell my name APRYL Cox, COX. Author April Cox. You type in "stuck on stupid" on any platform, and a lot of information should come up about me.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing all this information about these books. Now let's talk about these relationships. Yes. How do you feel like about relationships? Because you and I'm bringing you into this discussion. I should say, bringing this discussion to you because you said a lot of your books are about relationships. So, what's your overall feeling about relationships between black men and black women in this country today?
I love love. I am in love with love. And I personally don't think it's a lot of picks out there right now for us women. But I just love love.
You base that on what?
My own experiences and other experiences. I don't know. I'm single.
I guess, but what about those experiences? What about those experiences lead you to the conclusion that there's not much to pick from?
Well, I'm gonna just talk about my last 3 picks. I have a certain amount of time where I'm gonna give you any of my time, and in today's world, to me, it seems like everybody is they want sex. They don't want to get to know you. And even during the time of trying to get to know you, they want to jump straight to sex. A lot of times the first conversation that they talk about is sex. You don't even know my name. And like, even when some people are trying to like get my number, the first thing they just say is, "Can I have your number?" And I just feel like, you didn't even ask me what my name was. You didn't even introduce yourself or nothing. You just flat out want the number. Then
so that was, you say, telling us about your last 3 picks.
No, I'm just saying my last
which one?
3.
So that was one of them. That's how one of them came off. All right. What about number 2?
Number 2, he was just lying.
Okay.
He told me that his cousin died in his arms.
Yeah.
The reason why he couldn't make it, and it was just the biggest lie ever.
Yeah.
You know, he was supposed to come. He wanted to take me out, and I was like, well, I can't go at this time, but I can go at this time. So since the time didn't work for him, he decided to go take a trip to Orlando or somewhere, which would not have been enough time to make it back for the date. So instead of just saying, hey, I can't make it back or whatever, he made up this big lie. Oh, my cousin died in my arms. And that was the last thing I ever heard about the cousin died in his arms and all this stuff. So,
yeah. All right. Yeah. And number 3?
Number 3 was a long-term off and on relationship for me, because number 3 was in a relationship in the beginning and I didn't know. So.
All right. So now you say, based on things like those relationships, you've concluded that it's not really good pickings. All right. So I want some things you said about number 1. I just want to dig into a little bit. Right? All right. So Number one. So you're 32.
No, I'm 42.
42.
Finna be 42.
Oh, you said 42. Okay, my bad. I misheard you. I'm sure it's my
But I'll
fault.
take 32.
42. No, actually, I think I do remember you saying 42, but I misspoke earlier and said 32. But you wrote your first book when you were in your 30s, not your 20s. That would be correct.
I'm not really sure.
Nah,
I
you
gotta
said
count
about
back.
2014,
I think
right?
it
So
was
9
in
years ago.
14.
Right, I put
that was
you.
about yeah.
I put you in the 20s, and I was making this whole thing about 20s and 30s, but I got it now, though. I'm clear. All right, so bet. So you've been around, you've been a human, an adult for quite some time. At the very end of at the bottom line, most encounters between heterosexual men and heterosexual women are have at its basis are always driven by sex. I mean, that's the motive force of life. That's how we, produce, keep people on earth. That's always there. So why isn't it a benefit that men are upfront with that, especially in a society where so many people have gotten away from it, and it sometimes seems socially impolite to make the suggestion even right away. When everybody, adults as we are, knows at the end of the day that's what we trying to figure out, when we're gonna get down to it. So
okay, so no, it's okay to let me know that like you are interested in sex. That's what you would like to do. That's okay, but just if the conversation just always go about sex and I don't know nothing about you, and you don't know nothing about me, then to me you only here for the sex. And 9 times out of 10, that's what happened. A lot of times we women, we give ourselves up first, and then what else is left after that? If they don't want anything else.
I'll tell you this. I don't. I've heard before women say that men only want sex, right? But I always hear that from the women who withhold sex. And what happens, right, is the man can get everything else. He can get the phone calls, the hugs, the kisses, the food, the cuddles, the movies. Hell, sometimes he can get your car, your credit card, and the rest of it, but can't get sex. And so now, this the one thing that he can't have becomes the thing that he's the main topic of discussion. And I've seen it happen there. The woman will say, "That's all you think about. That's all you talk about." When it's something that that's the only thing at that point in time to talk about because everything else is already kind of there. Then by the same token, you said that after you give up sex, then the rest of it goes away. But that I don't know that that's a fair statement when the whole time the most coveted thing was kept away, and while we get on this other stuff, and so kind of catching up, I would to the past. But go ahead. What?
Well, I've been on both ends of the stick, meaning I have been on the end where I hold sex back, and I have been on the end where I gave sex up, in the beginning. And it didn't work. It just didn't work.
Neither way worked.
Well, right now, I'm not saying it's not working because one thing about it, I do believe what's for me is for me, and it's gonna work for me.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm saying right now, no, I don't desire just to give you sex in the beginning. That's not my desire. I'm not saying somewhere down the line before marriage it won't happen, but what I am saying is right now it's not going to happen.
And so that's a personal choice, right? And a lot of men probably, respecting that personal choice notwithstanding, choose to deal with somebody else who is
probably
a more cheerful giver.
But I just said what's for me.
Right. But I'm saying, but I'm just going back to the slim pickings because now you narrow down the picking pool.
Okay.
Right? Okay. And then the other thing I want to know is okay, where did you pick these men? Where did you find them? Where were you when you found number one? How did you find number one?
Okay. So one of them was a mechanic, and I ran into him. I was introduced to him as he were working on someone's car, and actually It may sound crazy, but it's the truth. Um,
Truth
this,
is often crazy.
yeah, this prophet in California told me, you're going to meet this guy, and he's going to look like this, 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 and this. Receive your blessing. So I didn't know what the blessing was, but I had to be careful because it could have either been, he could have been a blessing on my husband, or he could have just been a blessing of a hug. And so when
That's in one of your books.
this is the truth. No. And so when I met him, exactly what she said, what he looked like, his eyes, his hair, everything. So I had just lost my mother some months prior. And I was having a rough day that day. And I was walking to the car, and my neighbor was like, hey, this is such and such, he's a mechanic, you know, if you need your car fixed, whatever, like, okay. But I was just kind of like out of my, not even thinking about it because I was having a rough day, missing my mom. And he said, you okay? And I just said, no, I'm not. You know, and he just came in and gave me a hug. And honestly, I needed that hug. I just kind of fell into his arms. I was crying, and I needed that hug. And it should have just stopped there. You know, and then I just thanked him for the hug, and he told me that he was actually going through the same thing because he had just lost his father. So
we're going to put a pin in that right there, take a quick break, then we're going to come right back and close this out. This has been a lively discussion. Hey, we talking relationships and stuff now, not in the book, but on the books, right here on the Life Malcolm Show.
Rocking your radio on the sounds of soul. Playing your favorite R&B. In Touch Radio.
Hi, it's Angela Birdsong, and I want to recommend highly that if you're an attorney, that you get a quote for errors and omissions insurance from Sam Cohen at Attorneys First. He's had over 20 years of experience, and he knows how to work with attorneys. Call him at 727-799-4321.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call Herman White at 961-6661. That's 961-6661.
Jazz at Miss Connie's House is brought to you by Ray Williams Funeral Home, providing the highest quality, professional, and caring service for your family. Call Jeffrey Rhodes at 813-253-3419. That's 813-253-3419. Or visit him at 301 North Howard Avenue, Tampa, Florida. Ray Williams Funeral Home, for the finest care and quality service.
Going on, world? Welcome back to the Life Malcolm Show right here on In Touch News Radio, where everybody's a star and the biggest star is you. I've been here all show long with author April Cox. That's APRYLCOX right here in the studio, and we've been talking about her books and her some of the inspirations behind the book, some of the things that you can expect in the book, drama and mystery and relationships. And so we up in here talking relationship talk, and we just gonna get right back at it. You know, Miss author April Cox says it's slim pickings out here, and I'm challenging that. I'm just challenging, just saying, just where you picking, because if it's it depends on what you're looking for too. What you looking for? Are you looking? No, you say you're single. Are you looking? Because if you're not looking, how can you see what? Then you're missing the pickings too. So are you looking?
I do believe that my husband is watching me somewhere.
Okay, but are you
I
looking
do
for
travel a lot, yes, but I don't go out and I don't approach. I don't. I am a little shy in the area. Every now and then I might say like, "Oh, you cute," know, and I just keep going. But yes, I am.
So I'm trying to give me the lay of the land. Where are you picking? Okay, forget you. Obviously, you ain't want to tell me where you met number one.
No,
You
I was
said
telling
the
you. I
mechanic
just told
shop or
you.
something.
I was leaving home. I was leaving home. Mechanic shop. So that's how I met one.
All right, he was outside the door like a present.
Yep.
Okay.
And the other one, it was through a friend.
Like online, you met him online.
No,
you meet him in the church, in the club.
No.
In front of your door again. Like,
no.
Okay.
He was a friend. He was a friend. Well, a godbrother of my best friend.
Okay.
And she told me about him, and we kind of just met and to see if it would go anywhere. And
what was your first date? Where did y'all meet to see if where it was going?
Well, we never go on a date. That's part of a problem.
So where did y'all meet to see if it was going somewhere?
Well, I invited him to a gathering that one of my friend girls was having.
Okay.
So we went to that gathering, but by then we knew that it wasn't gonna work.
Okay. How long that took? Like
well, no, we talked on the phone for about 3 months, but I would have liked to go out.
Why?
I do want to see you.
Okay. Right.
I do want to see you.
It sounded like after talking for 3 months, you had already made up your mind.
No, within them 3 months, I wanted to go out on a date.
But by the time y'all finally did meet, it was already over, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So it came from the talking.
But it came from the talking.
So
but
why you still meet him? Why you just didn't cut him off?
No, because at that point is when he was real with me. When we was together, he told me yes. He said, you know what? Because I already knew that I didn't know he wanted sex, but I think he said he didn't want to hurt me because sex is what he wanted, you know. So he didn't want to hurt me, and I understood that. I said, cool. I appreciate.
Yeah, you just got to tell him how to do it so it don't hurt.
No, if he feel that sex is what he wants and he wants to go get it from whoever, then go ahead. That's okay with me. Just be honest with me. That's all I want is honesty. So he was honest about, he was looking to have sex.
Yeah.
So and he said he didn't want to hurt me by going having sex with someone else and trying to have a relationship with me. So that was cool.
Because you were holding back.
Heck, I didn't that bad. I just had met him for the first time.
So he just come out with this conversation. So y'all been talking for 3 months, and then he meet you, and then he just come out with this.
No, we had talked on the phone about sex sometimes, but
How old are you?
I'm 41.
No, how old were you? Oh, you were 41 at that time?
Yeah.
And how old was this person? About?
I think he's about maybe 46, 45, 46, something like that, I believe.
Married?
No.
Okay. That's the other person. That's number 3. That was in a relationship on and off.
That's number 3.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So where you meet number 3?
Number 3 came to my church, and it was my friend's brother, and I saw him there, and then we kind of inboxed each other a couple times, and then we end up meeting up one day.
All right. So I'm just gonna tell you. I'm just gonna tell you now. Just based on what you told us.
No, I met a lot of people in different places.
Hold on.
But okay.
Those are the ones you picked, right?
I just said the last 3.
Right. The last 3, that's good. Because 42, you might. I'm not saying you have a long list, but the top number, recent 3. But I noticed the common thread. Every one of them that you said slim pickings based on your experiences. We use these 3 people as an example, just kind of catching up people. They're just joining us with the conversation. So based on that, right, the 3 people that you just told us about have one thing in common. What you know what that is?
To a friend.
Yep.
Just 2 of them.
Well, a mechanic, somebody.
The mechanic, I was walking outside, and my neighbor said, "Hey,
right,
if you need a mechanic."
But your neighbor, right? Somebody you know your neighbor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe that's not through a friend, but somebody you know.
So
that's a common thing. So maybe, hey, got to break away from that circle and get into a different picking kind
well, that's just the last 3. But I travel, so I meet people.
You travel by yourself?
Mm-hmm.
You don't never when you travel. You don't travel with somebody you know.
No, we meet up. Me and my business partner.
So when you get there, you with somebody you know.
Yeah.
All right. And yeah. So don't.
Sometimes.
I'm just saying.
Sometimes I'm by myself.
Don't let nobody hook you up. Just go in the picking circle. Go in a different picking circle. You know, because you it sounds to me that you always somewhere where you comfortable. That's why somebody there that you know, and they can say, "Hey, look, I mean, the mechanic close to the house."
My friend, she didn't. The third one, she didn't hook us up.
Right.
I just knew that was her.
It was
friend.
It was still this.
But yeah,
okay.
We did that ourselves.
It's still your social circle. Is my point. It's this the whole country, your peoples, and your places. So I'm saying. Based on your experience, leads you to the conclusion that it's slim pickings. I'm saying, get away from them people that you usually hang around,
right,
and get to a different kind of picking place.
I'm trying,
and then see what the picking look like then, because I know it's a gang of good dudes out here. I know a lot of them.
I'm not saying it's not. It is
too many for it to be slim pickings.
But to me, it's
but I will tell you, I don't know too many grown men at this age and stage that's not upfront and clear about what we're trying to do.
It's okay to be upfront and clear.
We're not 16, don't have nowhere to go, nowhere to stay.
That.
No, I'm just saying, I'm not saying you said that.
It's okay to be upfront and clear, but just know that get to know me first. Don't try to get to know me
what
with
better
sex.
way?
You're saying getting to know me is with sex?
I'm saying what better way is what I asked.
Date me. Find out who I am. Let me find out who you are.
What does that mean? We can do all of that. Why have to be? Listen, you can breathe and blink at the same time, right? Like
you ain't gonna change my mind.
I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm just saying that the argument just kind of flimsy to me because we don't have, very seldom, unless it's a different kind of transaction.
The first 10 days.
First 10 days, we just talking, just getting to know each other.
Looking at photo albums. I haven't got nobody in the first 10 days that just wanted to talk. I got people that wanted to get some within the first 10 days.
10 days? That might be when they told you. The first 10 minutes. That's they already know.
No, I'm just saying sometimes it's the next day. And sometimes the conversation come up that first day when I'm trying to get to know them.
Right. And so I'm saying, right?
Okay.
What is this? I didn't say sex is the best way. I asked you, what's the better way? Because if sex is not the way to get to know you, say, I want to get to know you. We say, no, sex is not the best way. What's the better way?
All right. So date me. Let's take me out. Ask me who I am. Ask me questions. Let's go out. Let's go have fun. Let's just get to know each other that way. Do you go to church? If you do, tell me about it. I want to know about your family, too. I want to know where you came from. I want to know if y'all do roots.
Yeah.
I want to know everything. I want to know about your mama, your daddy. I want to know everything.
Makes sense.
Get to know me first. I want to know your background. I want to know how much you love your parent.
Yeah.
Do you hang out with your mom? Everything.
And so, and that's one main reason why I said change the social circle and the social picking place, because there's some places you can go that almost everybody there would not be there unless they met those qualifications. You see what I'm saying? So that social circle, that where they hang, that
echelon. You got to tell me where the place is at, because I don't really go out now.
I'm just saying that echelon, they cut certain people, off at the door.
Okay.
And so that way, you ain't got to deal with that type of riffraff, because you already had to, check that box, check that box, check that box, check that box, check that box. Spend time with them, all them boxes checked out, because them the type of dudes that be up in there.
Really? So where? But where?
No, I mean everywhere. I'm just saying you got to go there.
Okay.
Yeah, be there. Can't be around in your neighborhood, because they ain't there.
Okay. I haven't sung when I travel, but I'm gonna start.
Well, listen, I really appreciate you sitting in and making the Life Mouthful Show a blast.
Let me just say this real quick. I do have a nonprofit that you guys will find out on my Facebook. So just look on my Facebook and I'll share your nonprofit. Those are getting out of the hospital that got chronic illness. We give you guys money just to try to help get you going. So I'll tell you about it on my Facebook.
All right, that's what's up, y'all. A round of applause for Author April Cox. Thank you again so much. She has a lot of books and, a lot of reviews. People apparently love what she does, and I'm sure you will too. So, yeah, by all means, holler at her on the Amazon and the Facebook, Instagram, the rest of it. And I'll see y'all next time we're up in the studio. I really appreciate y'all being here, else.
Hey, one love.